All right, today I'm happy to have Tammy Iskarous here to do our program. She's the executive director at Riverbend Family Ministries, which is located in Wood River, Illinois. So I'll just turn it over to her to tell us more about this wonderful organization.
Is that perfect?
Perfect.
Because here's the challenge. I go to church with Nate. He knows I cannot stand in this little box right here. This will be the challenge of the day. My name is Tammy Iskarous, and I am the executive director of Riverbend Family Ministries, which will soon be known as the RFM Community Center, located in Wood River, Illinois. Yes, I am a proud Rotarian and have been for many, many years. And this past year, I was honored with being given the Paul Harris Award as well. So I wear both of my pins very proudly everywhere I go. And I believe in the truths and the foundation of what Rotary stands for. But today I'm going to talk to you about Riverbend Family Ministries. In 2006, myself and two friends knew of some small nonprofits that were doing some really good work across our community, but they were doing them off their ping pong tables or their kitchen tables where most good ideas start. But they weren't able to really make the impact that they needed to make. So I thought, what if we took those nonprofits and we put them all under one roof? And we shared the overhead, and we shared the space, and allowed these nonprofits to do the good work that they were called to do and not have to worry about those operational costs. What would that look like? So in 2007, I bought a building with 3 nonprofits. We continued to grow. We continued to grow. I continued to knock out walls. They ended up saying they couldn't have a hammer anymore, something about load bearing. So I told my board we needed to find another building. Because at that point in 2018, I had 8 nonprofits, all under one roof. Now, let me tell you what those nonprofits do. Riverbend Family Ministry works with our families affected by trauma, most often due to violence, addiction, homelessness, and/or poverty, to get our families to a place of hope, to a place of healing, to a place of sustainability and safety. Our refuge department works with our 0 to 11-year-olds that have been exposed to violence or have witnessed violence. And friends, let me tell you, I have over 50 kids on a waiting list for our services. The things that our babies have seen or have witnessed, have had happen, are horrific. We serve all of Madison County for our babies. I have our SOAR program, which works with our 12 to 17-year-olds. SOAR stands for students learning the ongoing approach to resilience. Because friends, we know that a lot of times our littles, and I call my 0 to 11-year-olds my littles, and my 12 to 17-year-olds are my bigs. We know that my littles and my bigs, most of the time, they are not the captain of their own ship. They don't have a voice to what is happening in their world. I love teenagers. Now, my daughter is an LED educator. She likes preschool and she likes like 1st and 2nd graders. Now, I'm the cool mom that goes in and helps with all the parties and all of her holiday parties and helps get all the things together. I walk out of there kind of with a twitch. I do not know how she takes care of littles all day, every day. I do not. Now, you put me in a room full of 700 teenagers, and I am in my element. I love teenagers because I know, friends, if we can get them on a different trajectory, if we can give them the tools to be successful, not only does it change their lives, but it changes the generations that go forward. I am that teenager. The trajectory of my life should never be a Paul Harris, should never be an executive director, but because one adult stepped into my life, it changed not only my life, but my children's lives and my grandchildren's lives. So SOAR works with our teenagers. Most of them have papers. Most of them have parole officers, truancy officers. Most of them have been kicked out of school or in the process of being kicked out of school. A lot of times we are that last chance before Department of Corrections. And you know, once a child is tagged in our system, the likelihood of them getting out of that tagged system is hard. It's really, really hard. So we teach our teenagers about resilience because their family life may not change, but I can teach them the tools. Our staff can teach them the tools for healthy communication, for healthy relationships, not just anger management, but conflict resolution. Because I have a feeling me and you could be in a fight. Well, I don't know that. I don't know you well enough, so I doubt me and you could be in a fight. But we could, right? And I could be super, super mad. And the gentleman behind you walk up and be like, hey, what's going on? And our anger would probably stop. Or how many of you been yelling at your spouse or your children and the phone rings? Hello. We can control our anger. That's a choice. But how we resolve conflict is a tool that helps our teenagers navigate and become resilient. CASA is in our building. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. They work with our kids in the foster care system. They are the eyes and the ears and the voice for our kiddos who have no voice. Because a lot of times our foster care kids, they get moved from house to house, from school to school, from doctor to doctor with no constant in their life. So our building is the hub of all of Madison County. Amari works with our families of addiction. Our families of addiction, friends, it cost me $27. $27 to put someone on a train from here to Chicago for detox and rehab. I spent more than that on coffee last week. $27 to change an individual's life. But what happens when they come back? Many times they come back to the same homes, the same friends, no job, no car, no anything. And the likelihood of them reusing goes way up. So Amari wraps around those families with addiction recovery resources, life coaches that will walk alongside our families, get them into sober living, get them into safe housing, to give them a chance to live. As the United Ways, we are a proud partner of United Way. And so as United Way says, to live their best possible life. We have mountains to molehills. Now I can pay to put a hot water heater in. I can pay to build a ramp. I can pay to put an air conditioner and a furnace in. But let me tell you, you do not want me picking up a power tool. And so here was a group of guys that came together and said, hey, we have the ability, we have the trade experts, we have connections with our trades, with our supply chains. We have the ability to come in and help build that ramp, put that furnace in, put in that air conditioner or hot water heater. And so a group called Mountains to Molehills started, because what is a mountain to many of our families? When you get the right people together, it becomes a molehill. We have licensed Christian counselors that are in our building. We have Metro ESC, which stands for Metro Every Survivor Counts. It is our team that works with our sexual assaulted victims to help them find a place of safety, to wrap around them. We work with our homeless, and I call them my unhoused neighbors, because I have had some of the best conversations with a cup of coffee and my unhoused neighbors. Because a lot of times we say, oh, it's always their choice. It's because of mental illness. It's because of drugs. It is not always. So in our new building, we've put in showers and washers and dryers for our unhoused neighbors to be able to come in and shower and do their laundry. And they are given their own set of towels and washcloths. They're given their soaps and their toiletries that's just for them to go in and be able to shower and to do their laundry, because they don't want to smell any more than the rest of us. And they are visible. And so many times we step over them. We don't see them. Thus, we don't care for them. And my pastor said last Sunday, which will forever stick in my heart, you cannot love those you judge. That was such an impactful statement to me. Parents Now works with our young teenage parents that have nothing. They give them diapers, they give them supplies, high chairs. All of this is done under one building. And the whole front end of our house is our client service department. They work with our families to make sure they stay in their houses. They give them rental assistance, utility assistance, tires on the van, gas in the car. We've even bought a car for a family, because crisis means something different to every single one of us and every single person that walks through our door. I tell a story about a lady that came in and she said she needed her power bill paid. It was $137. Well, as my volunteers and as my caseworkers started peeling that, what we call that onion, and getting really down to the core of what was going on, what had happened was this lady and her children were being violently abused by mom's partner. And mom needed desperately to get out of the house. But she had an old $137 power bill that she needed paid before she could move, and she didn't have the money. Because as an abuser, he hoarded everything and only allowed her to have a tiny little piece. How many of you would pay $137 every day to get that young family out of what they were going through? So of course, the front end of my house paid the $137. Of course they did. But not only that, because of all the different services that are in our building, we were able to take those kids, we were able to walk them down the hallway to refuge, to my littles, so that they could get the tools. And now they are in middle school and they are thriving and they are doing well. Mom was able to see a counselor down the other hall in our building, and she's working full-time. They have a house and they're thriving and doing well. It's because we have come together and wrapped around our families in a very holistic way. I don't have time for people to be in silos. This work is way too hard and we have to do it together. So you say, Tammy, how can we help? How can we as Rotarians help you further what you're doing? We have lots of ways. We have a golf tournament in June. We have a large Christmas that Megan and the refinery is such a big partner of, our community Christmas. We have donation drives. We have a huge Walgreens closet that's full of laundry detergent and toiletries and cleaning supplies that we give to all of our families because those things are expensive. If you are in leadership of any of your businesses, let me come speak to you. Through your donations, many times those are matched through your corporation. Let me come speak to your leadership team. If you are a part of a church, let me come speak to your mission team, because it's about all of us being partners in this work. Statistics say right here in Madison County, 1 in 4 are affected by violence, addiction, homelessness, or poverty. Either you have been a victim, somebody in your family has been a victim, or a friend. 1 in 4. Friends, that's one person at every table. One person at every table in this room. Last year, we helped over 2,000 families right here in Madison County. And our numbers look to be a lot bigger as we finish construction and move in fully to our next building. Thank you for this time. Thank you for the opportunity for me to share what is happening in Madison County. And it's good. There is good work that is happening. And I hope that you can find a way to partner and join in the great work that Riverbend is doing right here with our families. Thank you.